I was not able to locate the weight tag on this, but knowing what I know about things and using a lot of experience, I can tell you this is going to weigh somewhere between about 4,500 to 4,800 pounds. It's called a 29 SK side kitchen, but in today's world we call it a 26 BH. This was made back when model numbers still represented a little bit more of the tip to tail length as opposed to just the box length. It has been basically part kept. There's only maybe 500 miles on it. The folks used it seasonally. They swapped her out for a just larger trailer with a slide out and a private bunk room. They liked camping. They just needed more of it, basically. There's one glitch spot I want to talk about first before we get too far along, though. And I think it's things like this that have earned us a lot of respect and a large following in the industry, especially on our used RVs, because at a glance you look at this and you can't really see anything. And I think it is admittedly fairly minor, but that's my opinion when your money is involved, and I don't think it's appropriate for me to base your money on my opinion, so I want you to be able to draw your own. So, all that said, what am I talking about here? Well, inside these cabinets, I was just kind of poking around, and I noticed an extremely minor little crunchy spot up here. Like, if you look at it, sure, looks good. That's solid, and that's solid, but right around there, there's a tiny, tiny little crunchy spot where some water had gotten into the ceiling at some point. Now, I looked up on the roof and it looked nicely sealed, so I thought, okay, maybe something happened and they addressed it right away. But that made me think, is there something else I need to look for? So I poked around over here, and it looks like this side got it worse. If you look up here, you can actually see where this is a little bit wavy. Now, overall, still very solid. So what I think happened here is it's called the termination strip. Where the roof meets the front wall, there's a big seam. And I think this corner had a little bit of a failure and a little bit of water got in there. Now, they addressed it quickly because water runs down. So if it had been left a long time, these would be junk. But that's not the case. And these are the original wall panels. You can see how everything matches. So they must have addressed it very quickly. I started looking around a little further though, since water does go down, and I noticed that a little bit of water got into this trim over here. But this is solid, solid, solid. So there's a couple little minor, this is the only thing you can really see visibly during the day. Everything else is kind of out of the way, and frankly, it doesn't hurt the RV. It doesn't stop the RV from being used. But you deserve to know it's there, and we're not going to lie to you at Haylett RV. So if you're still with us, it means thank you for shooting us straight. We appreciate the transparency. And for the right money, I might still consider this. Or I'm really curious to see what kind of wacky off-the-wall stuff Josh is going to say this time about these things. So again, a pretty classic version of a 26-foot bunkhouse. Eventually you'd see things called a 28-29 BHS where the sofa became a slide out, but that's obviously not the case here. And what's nice is, since there's no slides, there's no nonsense. You can always navigate the RV, whether you're traveling, whether you're stopped. And again, these people didn't travel with it, so the structure is largely unstressed as compared to how it could have been. I like it whenever there's a big entry closet or cabinet like that, because it gives me a nice stand to be able to just set stuff down when I walk in the door. Campside window right here is something that is hard to find sometimes in the RV industry, so anytime I get a chance to talk about it, I like to. And since the dinette is right above the wheel well, they went with, well, man, this sunlight is not being conducive here, is it? They have a single stabilizer leg for that table, and then it brackets against the wall so that you don't have a knee knocker, but obviously you have that wheel well to contend with right there. But you can see that little bar. That bar is kind of what helps you fold that up or down into sleeper mode. Now, kind of like the dinette can become a sleeper, the sofa can become a sleeper as well. And you see that triple panel window right there? That's called a jowlecy window. It actually cranks open. And buddy, this is taking me back. This is an auto stop AudioVox AM FM cassette player with graphic equalizer. And this even had the fancy little lights that flashed up. Ooh. Ooh, that is some fancy, fantastic stuff right there. Does this? Oh, wow. I think that might actually still work. That's probably worth money in and of itself. Now, right next to the bathroom and the bunks, you've got a nice handy hanging closet here, which is something a lot of more modern bunkhouses have lost, is storage space. But it's because this has single bunks, a very classic arrangement, versus double bunks. Double bunks take up more physical space, and something had to go, and unfortunately closets very often got lost as a result. Bathroom back here gets the job done. Actually, bathroom's fairly nicely appointed. I kind of like how they have all this laid out here. And I like that kind of pseudo separation wall right there as you get into that shower. And you can see how it does have a skylight above, which is actually the ceiling vent. It's kind of doing double duty, but it also has protective shower surround wall paneling. Woo! It's early and I need some more caffeine to feed the addiction, I think. Now, I just noticed something I didn't catch on my first pass-through. I saw that line right there under the window and I went, what the heck happened here? And I noticed that this was a little soft right here, but it quits. So, I don't think the window leaked because I think it'd be more severe. I think this window got left open and it rained a little bit. That's my estimation. I could be wrong. It's neither here nor there. It doesn't look like it's causing a problem currently. And I like how they put a ladder in place right there. So, swinging us back around the other way, this has a conventional 6.5 foot interior height, by the way. This was built before brands like Jayco's J-Flights had started building stuff a little bit taller inside. If you want to add a TV, that's where the hookups would be located. Chances are, though, if you're looking at something like this, you're thinking, okay, this is going to be my first camper. I get that it's not flawless, and that's okay. As long as I get the right money on it, this will let me go camping and try camping out for a year or two before we go swapping out into that super slide bunkhouse that I think we're probably going to like. I think that's a good way to approach this one. Sliding pocket privacy door here, by the way. Now, we peeked at the bedroom earlier, but in more detail. You can see how this not only has a front window with a weather shield, but that is also a 2-panel tilt-open jalousie window. So you can get great crossbreeds going here from either the side-to-side windows or that front window there. Storage below the bed, storage beside, storage above, storage pretty much anywhere that they possibly could put it. And a classic little TV shelf. This was made before the idea of flat screens were introduced into the RV industry. But what you could do, because this is a conventional wood stud skeleton trailer. So about roughly every 16 inches on center, kind of roughly the same as a residential standard in that regard, there should be a wall stud. So you just grab a stud finder, which every guy knows before you use a stud finder on the wall, you got to hold it up to yourself and go, yep, there's one. But find a stud finder. You could mount a TV bracket right there if you even wanted to add a TV to this thing. Run the cable down, or just get one with a built-in DVD player or HDMI port that you could plug a Roku stick into, and bam, bedroom entertainment and a basic starter camper. Now you see that horizontal striping that's about 1/3 of the way up the trailer. There's a little bit of weather roughing on that, but overall, I'm actually pretty impressed with how well this thing has held up against the weather over the years. Now, I think like I said, it's not in perfect shape, but given the age of it, I think you could do a heck of a lot worse. Now, it has sat in a park, so the tires look basically new. Now, what's nice is they also don't appear to be weather checked. I got a real good up-close look at this thing when I was walking around it the first time taking pictures, and I was very happy to see that looking at the skin, like I said, you can see a couple areas where maybe it got a little roughed up from the weather, but the tires look pretty good, so it makes me think they really did a good job of keeping those tires protected. You don't see a ladder on the back, but it does have a walkable roof, so if you want to get up there and do regular care, maintenance, upkeep, you can. There's a couple marker lens caps missing. Probably got peeled off from the weather, and since the folks never towed it, they probably never worried about it. But seriously, if that little marker cap is the only thing you need to take the trailer home, we've got a parts shop over here. We can take care of that. Don't let that be something that stops you. Just give us a call. Say, hey, I just need the lens caps put on, and I'd take her home today. Okay, fine. Well, let's work something out. Give us a call. Awning. Awning hardware actually looks pretty good, and that awning fabric looks good. I got a feeling they did a good job cleaning it, and I'm wondering if that's not where some of where this paint on this strip has been rubbed off, because interestingly, this panel, that strip is actually raised further than everything else. So if you had a scrub brush and you were scrubbing the side of the trailer, it would rub harder on that spot, which explains why that is the one spot that consistently has some paint rubbed off. Now, that is a little bit of theory and conjecture, and I'm doing what I call CSI for camping, but I've been doing this a while, and I got a pretty good way of figuring this stuff out. So, here's what I'd recommend. I've talked about some good, some bad, some ugly, some in between. I've tried to be fair. I would advise you, if this looks like a trailer that could work for you, if the budget might work out for you, give us a call. We will pull it up to that building over there, hook it up to water and electricity. We will flip all the buttons and switches, let you see everything to your level of comfort before you take it home. I think that's fair. I don't expect you to just take our word for it. And that gives everyone a chance to absorb it at their own pace. So if that sounds good, give us a call. We do it all at Haylett RV. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.